I'm gonna move that oil around just a taste, and you see how it's swimming around there, but for the most part, it's just coating the bottom of my pan. So hopefully I'll be able to talk over this very loud chicken. As your chicken begins to brown, simply start turning it over. You don't need a ton of color, just enough to get some crispness on the skin. Now that my chicken is beautifully browned on all sides, I'm going to set it aside, and remember that this chicken is nowhere close to being done. It's simply got crisp skin and slightly brown skin, and we're going to move on to our next step. I have chopped 1 white onion and 3 celery stalks, and please don't forget the leaves. Oh my gosh, the heads of them are really the most tasty part. I'm going to let these onions sweat out, soften up slightly, but also get a little brown on them, a little caramelization. Remember that we already put pepper and salt liberally on our chicken. There's some of that left in the pan, and it's seasoning our veggies for us. So again, I'm going to let that go for anywhere from 4 to 5 minutes. So let's start to build this unusual, arguably, but very delicious sauce. I'm going to go in with a really spicy and liberal full teaspoon of chili paste. You go with whatever works for you. If you like sriracha at your house, if you have some exotic Asian chili paste, go for it. Believe me, we're going to mellow out that spiciness with the natural sweetness of the blueberries and the celery. And we're also going to add a little bit of sugar to this as well. Now for a teaspoon of chopped garlic, really minced garlic. Stir that in. Next, from anywhere from 8 to 12 ounces, I'm using a 10-ounce jar of my favorite blueberry preserves. I understand you're thinking, okay, what? The flavors come together so beautifully, you're not going to believe it. You can serve this to kids, and they love the fact that it's got that kind of sweet and spicy flavor. But the flavors are also complex enough that you could really serve this at a dinner party with a different cut of your chicken. I'm using drumsticks today, but obviously you could do this with the chicken breast. You could cut up a whole chicken. So just as it begins to bubble, we put in 2 cups of chicken stock. We'll let that go just to marry, just to kind of let everything get along for a sec. Then we're going for 1/3 cup, oh my gosh, it doesn't want to come out, of brown sugar. Not too much sugar. You got to trust me on that, because we're also going to be adding apple cider vinegar to this, and that time starts now. 1/4 cup. The vinegar balances the sugar balances the vinegar, the spicy is neutralized by the sweet, and they all come together and get married. Happily forever after, I hope. Okay, so a pint of fresh blueberries. I'm going to turn my heat up to medium just to speed things along. And I'm going to allow this to simmer and come together just for a few minutes. We're literally talking 2-3 minutes here. Now for one of my favorite ingredients, just as the blueberries are starting to, sort of open up and almost pop on us, We're gonna add a 1/4 teaspoon of ancho chili powder. If you have a hard time finding ancho chili powder or you'd rather not buy something new, there's a couple of things you can do. Like a cumin powder, maybe like a dash of cayenne if you're gonna go with the cumin, because ancho, while it's not super spicy, it does have just a hint of heat. That is amazing. Now for 1/2 cup of some bright, fresh herbs. I am using parsley because it's got just that little lemony touch to it. But you could honestly use just about any herb that you like. A Thai basil would be nice. Cilantro, if you want to give it that kind of, I don't know, southwestern flair. So just as this starts to bubble on us, I'm going to add my chicken back in. This is truly a one-pot wonder. So as you can see, the chicken is just barely covered by our sauce. That's exactly what we want for a perfect braise. Now it's time to turn off the heat, cover this baby up, and I'm going to pop it in the oven on 350 for a couple of hours. Covered up, those last 15 minutes, you can take the top off, and that will allow for some really bubbly, syrupy goodness to happen, as well as a bit more browning.